For our project, we adapted Hamlet into the modern business world. Our adaptation emphasizes the competitive nature of the technology industry, paralleling the competitive nature of the European nations as seen in Hamlet. Instead of two nations, however, we have two competing companies, Norway Technologies, based out of Silicon Valley, and Hamlet Technologies, based out of New York, as the main setting of our adaptation.
We focused on the main events surrounding Hamlet's father's death and Hamlet's plans for revenge culminating in the final scene. In accordance with their business setting, we also used costumes such as suits and other business attire because it follows the rules of business etiquette.
We also chose to adapt the language and greetings to fit the modern American culture as well as the proper business setting.
In Act 1, Scene 5, the ghost of Hamlet's father appears in order to give him very important news, which drives the plot and gives Hamlet a purpose throughout our own adaptation of Hamlet. When Hamlet and the ghost of Hamlet's father are walking, we chose to keep them outside and alone, to keep the aspect of a big secret that the ghost has yet to reveal to Hamlet. In the play, King Hamlet is killed in his own garden, which is an isolated place to which he has access. And we changed it to his own assembly plant that he is watching after hours, which is also an isolated place to which he has access. We chose to do this because one of the main jobs of the CEO is to supervise production and make sure the business is organized and everything is running smoothly. The only one watching him is Claudius. Instead of Claudius killing to become king, he is killing to become CEO. The motif of the acts that a man might play is demonstrated by how Claudius puts on a show of kindness and power, but he's actually devious and devises a plan to kill Hamlet's father. The way Hamlet's father was killed was by falling from a ledge, which is the easiest way to do in modern times while watching over a factory.
Where are you taking me? I'm not going anywhere until you tell me.
Alright, pay attention then.
I am.
I'll tell you why I'm here. I am the ghost of your father. If you ever love me, you will avenge my murder.
Murder? Tell me of how you were murdered so I can avenge you.
I was standing on the observation deck in the assembly plant after hours, as I usually do, to make sure that all of the equipment had been shut down properly, when all of a sudden I felt a shove from behind and turned to see your uncle standing there with a sinister look on his face right before he pushed me again. The last thing I remember seeing was the ground.
Uncle Claudius? Here he is pretending to be helpful by stepping in as CEO when he really just wants the company for himself.
Now, Hamlet, there are a couple of things I must ask of you. The first is to not be mad at your mother, and the second is to seek revenge for me. These are the only things I ask of you. Remember this.
I will remember my task.
Act 2, we chose Scene 2 because it introduces the characters of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, who we shortened into Gildenkrantz for casting reasons. We also chose the scene because it shows the growing distrust between Hamlet and Claudius, and it also shows how Hamlet is going to find out whether or not Claudius is innocent and whether or not the ghost of his father was lying. We also changed the actors that came in into a writer from the New York Times because both are examples of people who go around spreading information, whether it be plays or news articles, and we incorporated modern references to things such as Ubers, baseball teams, and cities to also help modernize the setting. We left out the part of Hamlet berating Ophelia because of the duration of the event and its insignificance to the general theme of deceiving others to get information.
Welcome to New York, Mr. Gildenkrantz. We called you here because we know how close you are to Hamlet. He's been acting strange lately and we don't know why. We were hoping you could help us.
I'd love to help you.
Yeah, if you could just go check up on him to see what's going on.
I'll go find out where he is. Hey, Hamlet, long time no see.
Yeah, I know. So it brings you to New York.
Oh, an Uber, obviously.
No, seriously.
Oh, well, I just came into town to see a Yankees game.
The Yankees? You know the Yankees are in Oakland this weekend, right?
Oh, I meant to say Mets game.
Sure you did. So why are you really here? Did my mom and my uncle send for you? So, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I know why. I've been pretty depressed lately, and they've probably sent you to see if I'll tell you why I've been acting so crazy lately.
You're depressed?
A little bit.
Well, do you want to talk to some writers I brought with me from the New York Times?
Sure.
Okay, I'll send them up.
Hi, are you the writer from the Times?
Yeah, hi, I'm Amanda Bryant.
What articles have you done recently? Any murder stories?
A few, why?
Well, I think I have a pretty good story for you.
Okay, I'll take a look. Interesting.
Check it out. I'd like to see it in print as soon as possible.
We'll do our best to get it in as soon as we can. Thank you.
Thanks.
We chose Scene 2 of Act 3 because it is the part of the novel in which Claudius realizes that Hamlet is aware he killed the former king. We featured a proper business lunch setting featuring correct placement of utensils as well as proper seating arrangement. Hamlet presents the article himself as opposed to it being presented by actors in the play, showing directly to Claudius that he is in fact aware that he killed the former king. Hamlet also pretends to not be aware of the significance of the story being presented, indicating the theme of the novel being the acts a man might play. The Reddens funeral home mentioned in this scene is an actual funeral home located in New York City. And Claudius reacts with such fury after hearing the presented article by Hamlet because he realizes the article originated from the New York Times, who are infamously credible, despite occasionally being flawed, and in this case, being completely flawed, as presented by Hamlet and a New York Times writer.
So are we all good for boating this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Hey, listen to this article I found on the New York Times website. Nike chairman Harrison Cloaca was murdered last night at the Central City Plaza. Harry Cloaca was standing on his 4-story tall balcony when rapper Matt O'Brien, aka Matty O'Bombs, pushed him from behind. Harry fell to his death and was not able to be revived. The funeral will be held this Tuesday at Reddens Funeral Home.
What's the meaning of this nonsense?
I just thought I'd share a story with you.
Well, it's garbage and completely made up. The New York Times needs to give more credible sources.
What's his deal?
I don't know.
For Act 4, we chose Scene 4, when Hamlet sees Fortinbras' captain on his way to England. We chose this scene because it introduces the rivalry between Fortinbras and Hamlet's firm resolve in his soliloquy sets the stage for the final scene. In this scene, we combine the characters of Fortinbras and his captain into just Fortinbras. Not only does this simplify the scene, but it also illuminates Fortinbras' role as Hamlet's foil, as their differences are emphasized. We also changed the gender of Fortinbras to represent the increasing number of women who are CEOs at large companies. We also decided to change Hamlet's destination from England to Boston in New England, because this fits better with our New York setting. And we changed Hamlet's mode of transportation to air travel, because business people are among the biggest users of air travel. We chose United Airlines as the airline, because United Airlines was the most popular airline flying from New York to Boston last month, April 2016. Lastly, we changed Fortinbras' plan from an invasion of Poland, in which thousands of people would be killed, to the buying out of a smaller company, in which thousands of workers would be laid off, because this makes more sense with our business setting. Is that Fortinbras?
Is that the young Hamlet? What do you want?
What are you doing here? I thought you guys were based out of Silicon Valley.
Oh, I'm just here to buy a company that's worth basically nothing.
So, you're buying a company and laying off thousands of their employees just because you feel like it?
Yeah, obviously. What else do I do with the company? Goodbye, Hamlets. I have places to be.
Wow. Fortinbras is taking action against so many people for no reason at all, when I actually have a reason to take action and I don't. I have to act now.
We chose scene 2 because it corresponded better to our other scenes and because it is the climax and most important part of the play since everything comes to light. We changed the setting of the climax from a duel to a business center since this would be a more likely setting for something like this to happen in the business world. At the dinner, the Hamlet family is celebrating the merger between Denmark Technologies and Norway Technologies. We did this so that it made sense when Fortinbras takes control of both companies. We chose Cabernet Sauvignon as the wine, as it is one of the most common red wines, and we chose to use Cabernet glasses as they are traditionally used to serve Cabernet Sauvignon. We kept the manner and order of the killings consistent, since the Hamlet-Claudius showdown is a key part of the play. We omitted Horatio since he's not crucial to the plot of the scene or our adaptation. Despite the fact that Horatio is Hamlet's confidant, we decided to expose the plot at the dinner table for more dramatic effects. In Hamlet, Fortinbras takes over the Kingdom of Denmark in addition to ruling the Kingdom of Norway, and in our adaptation, the merging of both Denmark and Norway technologies is symbolic of this.
Laertes, I have orchestrated an ingenious plan that will allow you to avenge your father.
Tell me what your plan is and I will follow it exactly.
See these Cabernet glasses? Put this poison in one of them and put it in this cup, which will be set in front of Hamlet. I'll let you know if anyone's coming.
I'll get to it, sir.
Laertes, they're coming.
Welcome, Hamlet. Please, have a seat.
Thank you.
Welcome, darling. You can sit.
Thanks, Laertes.
Thank you, Laertes.
Thank you.
Well, Claire Fortinbras is not here yet, but let's get started. Let us toast to our new fortune.
Hamlet, it's poisoned.
The king is to blame.
You killed my father, and now you're trying to kill me too. Well, we see how this turned out. You killed my mother in the process. I told my father I'd get revenge.
Hello, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Whoa, what happened here? Okay. Alright, cheers to Hamlet and Fortinbras Enterprises. Officially merged.
I got broads in Atlanta, just to lean in the family. Credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van. Legacies, family, wait and see, look like a panda. Going out like a Montana, honey, down the helmets.
Overall, in our adaptation, we changed our setting to the modern business environment, but we're careful to include the motif of deception and the themes of an act that a man might play.
We stayed true to the plot by accurately portraying the most influential scenes throughout the 5 acts. We did so while shifting the entire language and actions to become more relevant to the business world of today, demonstrating the timelessness of Shakespeare.